Welcome to Mixed Media Wednesday. As part of the Vicki Boutin design team this week, we're focusing on the Mixed Media paper pad, which is a ready-to-use paper pad, and I'm flipping through here to show you some of the papers in this pad, which is awesome. There's the item number. I'm going to use this mixed media looking pre-printed paper, so all of the mixed media background is done for you and you don't have to wait for anything to dry, and these are all done by Vicki Boutin, so it's like she created something for your page. And here I'm just going to start by hand cutting some leaves. I'm going to focus on spring, so I just want to hand cut rough leaf shapes. I purposely don't want them perfect. I want them to be natural and look like some paper crafting. And so I'm just using my American Crafts detail scissors to cut into the 6x8 pad from the Vicki Boutin Color Kaleidoscope collection. And you'll see that I can just trim those up if there's any straight edges, because I want all the edges to be curved. And this is the 6x8 paper pad, like I said, so you get some double-sided pages that you don't get in the 12x12. So I'm going to take the scattered leaves paper and I'm just grabbing a sheet of copy paper to punch some white sprigs. Because the background is mostly white, I wanted to bring the white up to the top, one of the top layers, and to kind of soften the colored leaves that I'm putting on top of the mixed media background. I just find it really helps to add a few extra layers. So I'm cutting out the pre-printed scattered leaves paper. This is already printed on the paper for you, so you just have to follow the edges of the leaves, and so that way I'll have two different sizes for this layout. I'm using an Instax photo. Simply printed that on my Instax share printer directly from my phone from my walk this morning. And there's some beautiful trees that are blooming in the neighborhood, so I really wanted to focus on the blue sky and the blooms on the tree. So I'm adding two of the die cut clouds from the Color Kaleidoscope die cut pack. And there's also some images from the die cut pack that I'm going to test out here, see if I like them. I like the two clouds because they continue with the blue color and there's clouds in the photo. So I'm going to add some more of the green leaves because I really want to keep the color scheme to green, blue, and the neutrals are the tan and white. So I'm just going to cut out a section of this so that I can keep cutting leaves without having the big portion of the 12x12 paper. So I'm going to go until I find that I have a pleasing arrangement, and my idea is that I want these leaves to kind of scatter down the right side to look like they're kind of going under the Instax photo. So I'll just keep adding layers and more layers and more leaves until I like the arrangement. I kind of want them to look like they're growing out of a branch or kind of meandering down the right side of the page from the very top portion. I like how this is looking already. This is super easy to use. If you're new to mixed media and you don't know how to work with gesso and art crayons and things like that, this is a really good way to put your toe in the pool of mixed media and just try out and see if you like this. And then you can learn to create your own backgrounds that look similar to this by watching Vicki Boutin's it's like a free class every Friday. She has a Facebook community, the Vicki Boutin Mixed Media Community on Facebook, and she has Friday Night Lives on Facebook, so really she'll show you how to use all the supplies. This is super easy to incorporate because all of the work on the background is done for you. So this layout came together really fast, within 20 minutes. Of course, it took a little extra time because of the filming setup and things like that, but the actual portion of creating the layout took about 20-25 minutes, which is really super fast for 12x12 layouts for me anyway. I'm a slow scrapper. So I'm adding some of the grid pattern from the 6x8 and also there's a green and blue text word background pattern that I'll take from the 6x8 pad as well. I think I'm getting it back out here because I need a third pattern. And there it is, the word print paper. Kind of looks like newsprint, but it's green and blue. There's already some mixed media work on this as well, so you don't have to do that. I like the words because it gives almost a striped look to these leaves. So you have the grid, you have the striped or the words, and you have the graph paper. Now I'm probably checking to see if I can add any more patterns, but I think I just wanted to get back to this text paper and cut out the green section. Super easy to just follow along and make curved shapes for making your own leaves. So I like that. I have 3 of the word pattern. I have, I think, 4 or 5 of the graph pattern. Now I'm going to work on the title. I really like this. This is an older American Crafts Thickers, foam thickers, and I don't have the packaging anymore just because I've coordinated these by color. So, but I really like this bold font for the title. And because it's white, it will really let the mixed media colors shine. I'm checking out the stickers in the Color Kaleidoscope collection and seeing if there's any kind of other embellishments I can add to the photo area and the leaf area. I think I want to put that doily behind there, but then I end up changing my mind. I'm going to cut this packaging that the stencils came in, and because it's the green dot that coordinates with the leaves, I'll use that. And I'm just using another Instax photo so that I know how big to cut this because I want it larger than the photo. There we go. So I'm just going to write what picture that was of the stencil since I cut that out. So that way I'll know, and because I always need to know which package the specific stencil came in. So I'm going to straighten this up a little bit since I eyeballed and hand cut it, and I'm going to bend up all the edges just so it lifts up off the background paper and creates more visual interest and more texture. So now that I kind of have the placement, I'm going to add that journaling die cut from the Color Kaleidoscope die cut pack, and then I'm going to start just piling everything on and start gluing things down because I kind of like how this is looking. Now I have to add some of the layers back to the top. This is what I'm talking about, adding the white punched leafy branches to the top layer just so that the background white color is also continued on the upper layers. And it just creates a more cohesive look. I like to do this. This is one of my tricks that I like to do to just create a cohesive page. I'm using the basic gray ruler just to line up, and at first I think I want to line it up with the photo, but then I kind of want to go on the bottom left here since it's such a bold and huge font. Just going to line up the word spring. I think yeah, spring, that's right. Where's the P? Where's the P at? There it is. Okay, so now that I can actually spell spring right, I see how that's going to look on the page, and I just like that it adds another layer, some more interest to the layout. So I'm kind of using the marks on the ruler to get this lined up straight. And I'm deciding if I want to use the tan of that journaling tag. I'm not quite sure I want that much of that color on there, or the neutral. Now I just have to peel the foam letters off of the ruler and mash them down really well. And here I'm deciding which other elements I can add to this layout and where I'm going to put the journaling. So I'm going to say spring is here, And then I'll just talk about a little walk that I took through the neighborhood and how I enjoy springtime. It's my favorite season because of all the new growth and the fresh perspective. It just is a wonderful, oops, that was a blob. This is the American Crafts Express glue, and I've never had it come out like that, so I must have done something weird because I've never had it clog at all either. So I'm just going to wipe that up with a paper towel and continue on here. So you'll notice when I'm adding the glue, it's to the center line of all the hand cut leaves. And I still bend up the edges just so they won't adhere down to the background paper. And you see me doing it right there. I'm lifting up each edge and as I secure the center portion with the glue down to the layout, just so that it will have a lot of dimension and texture and create some more interest on the page. So you can see how this layout is going to go together here. So I'm just going to lift up certain areas and add the glue and just keep on going. I think in the end I end up using some of the Color Kaleidoscope chipboard thickers to add a little bit of that khaki or tan color in 3 spots, and I'll use the number 3 to signify March. Oh, well, I kind of tried to do some zoom action there, but okay, now I'm going to use the washi tape, a big swatch of the washi tape. I love that washi tape, it's so awesome, to kind of highlight the top of the photo. Now you'll see here is where I'm trying to decide where to put those khaki numbers. And I'll change it out eventually for the number 3 because I realize, oh, I'm talking about March here, so kind of makes more sense. Instead of 1, I switch it out for a 3. And I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers quick stick, and that's an easy way to add your stickers to the layout. I'm using the American Crafts Sticky Thumb adhesive, the foam, white foam dots or the white foam squares, and I'm going to punch some more little white leafy bits so that I can add those on 3 sections of this layout. And as soon as I adhere the rest of this and do the journaling, I'll call this layout done. And thank you so much for joining me. I've got some still shots in the end here, and I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe. I really appreciate your time, and I'm grateful for you spending your time here with me today. Thanks. Bye.